Welcome back to the Shy City Boys podcast. I am Carl Liza. With me, as always, is Jack Thiel. Jack, how about that? Hold on. Oh, it's DoorDash.
Oh
Hold on.
no. Well, Carl is taking a call. Today we are going to talk about the MLB free agent signings. The Cubs got Dansby Swanson, Carlos Correa goes to a new team after his medical things did not go well. We'll talk about the Chicago Bears, their performance against the Philadelphia Eagles, and what should we expect against the Buffalo Bills, and which should be a really cold game. It should be a fun game to watch, but we'll talk about that. And the Chicago Bulls, a lot of drama surrounding them. Zach LaVine. Apparently there's a rift in the connection between the two parties, and something's going on, but the Bulls have won two straight since that news broke out, and we'll talk about if maybe that's what they needed to get off this schneid and start something new. But for right now, let's kick it to the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It was a very close game, actually, and Jalen Hurts did not play his best. He did have 3 rushing touchdowns, but the Bears forced him to 2 interceptions. It was the first time all year that Jalen Hurts threw 2 interceptions in one game. It was also said that Jalen Hurts hurt his shoulder in that performance. So a lot went down that's pretty pivotal. I mean, for the Bears, obviously their draft pick and where they're going to be. But for the Eagles, they will not have Jalen Hurts. It'll be Gardner Minshew starting for them. But overall, I got to say, I really liked how the Bears responded to the Eagles. I mean, they're the best team in the NFL, one of the best pass defenses in the NFL, and obviously their offense is prolific. I mean, Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts. I thought the Bears held themselves pretty high. And I'm pretty impressed with Justin Fields as well. Obviously, he had that big run that people are talking about, but he passed the ball pretty well. You got to remember that this is the best pass defense in the NFL. And Justin Fields was working with guys like Equimania St. Brown, Dante Pettis, Cole Kmet. So he was missing Mooney, Claypool, Harry, and he had the best passer rating out of anyone who has played the Eagles this year. So, we can talk about the Justin Field runs all day. We can talk about what he does with his feet, but you go away from this performance talking about what he did with his arm, and that was impressive. And I think that everything is coming together for him. And, what is very important for year 3 is what we've seen is when quarterbacks go into that year 3 mode is that they get a weapon. They get a guy who can play. And that's what Justin Fields hopefully can get. I mean, look at Jalen Hurts. He got A.J. Brown, and he's having an MVP year. You go back to Josh Allen, got Stephon Diggs, and look at the year he's having. So you kind of look at, those two stories, 2 teams the Bears are going to be playing, last week and this week. You hope the Bears can learn from that. But overall, I really like the performance from the Bears against the Eagles. It was a loss, but it was a close loss, and Justin Fields played well. That's what Bears want. They want those close losses that Justin Fields plays well. And so they get a good draft pick as Carl rejoins us. Carl, for a quick moment, what were your thoughts on the Bears and Eagles game?
I thought that the Bears played exactly how they should have. Played it really close, but then lose in the end.
That's basically what I just said in the end.
Yeah, Justin Fields put up the best passer rating
I said that.
Oh, yeah. You did? Okay.
But I covered it pretty well.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
And I also showed – oh, what?
You can take it away.
Oh, okay. So let's stay on the Bears and Phillies game. I'm coming down to the realization that we should not re-sign David Montgomery. And possibly either stick with Khalil Herbert as the RB1, or there's been a lot of rumors of Saquon coming.
So I don't want Saquon now.
I mean, I don't know, 2-3 year deal.
No, because look at Super Bowl teams. And
they don't pay the running backs.
And tell me how much they're paying their running backs, or how much.
Oh yeah,
they're investing.
They're usually on like vet minimums.
Exactly,
or
that's my
deals.
point. You're not going to be a successful team if you build around a running back. And case example is the Titans. They're a good team. Derrick Henry is the best running back in the NFL, but that can only get you so far. So I would be fine with Khalil Herbert moving forward, but I agree with you. I would not resign David Montgomery. I think we talked about this before the season. I said I would have traded him because
Yeah,
we didn't need him. Someone would have been willing to pay a second, maybe third round pick. So I agree.
yeah.
I don't think we need him. I think we keep Khalil, but I would not sign a running back that we would have to pay over $10 million. I just don't see the value in it. We have a lot. I like Khalil Herbert. He's the juice. Like,
Oh yeah.
we have a lot bigger needs than a running
Mhm.
back. So I agree. Don't bring back Montgomery. Keep Herbert. But although Saquon is an athlete, he is a tremendous player. Don't get me wrong. We don't need him right now.
Oh yeah.
If we had a solidified line, a solidified receiving core, then I would say, okay, let's look at Saquon. But we have a lot bigger needs than a running back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And speaking of need, let's talk about the NFL draft a little bit. We currently have the second overall pick. I've been seeing a lot of mock drafts where Houston doesn't take quarterback with that first pick, and they take Will Anderson.
I would be shocked because
I would be too.
moved away from Davis Mills, and now it's Jeff Driscoll and is it Kyle Allen? I think his name.
Kyle Allen, yeah, I like Kyle Allen.
I would just be shocked because
Yeah,
when's the last time the Texans isn't the last time the Texans took a first round quarterback was Deshaun Watson?
yeah,
So it's worked well for them, but my jaw would drop if that didn't happen. But I mean, that also tells you the type of player Will Anderson is, and
generational. I've been saying that since first
who
week.
knows, the Bears might not be as welcoming to moving that pick if he's available because, like
Yeah.
he is such a generational talent. Now, if you find a trade that like the Lions or someone else who will take a QB, and you
Mhm.
get maybe a pick right after that, I mean, you're going to play. It's risky because the Lions are the fifth pick, I believe. So you trade that second pick, you have to wait two more picks for Will Anderson not to get taken, and that's a risk.
Yeah.
Now Jalen Carter could be taken as well, so there's those
Mhm.
two guys. But I think for the Bears, they're also going to be listening today. I mean, they've done the scouting, they know what this guy can be, and the Bears fans know what this guy can be. So I think we can always talk about the Bears doing that trade, but it's really hard to see them moving if they want that generational guy like Will Anderson.
Yeah. Also, you got to think about this. If the Texans don't end up taking a quarterback and they take Will Anderson, our pick is drastically not important anymore because then both the guys in CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are going to be there at 3.
And who knows, maybe Will Levis. Someone wants him at every time.
Not.
I'm not saying I would, but
not before Bryce
might.
or CJ. But I can see what you're saying.
No, not over those guys. No, but
yeah,
top 10 maybe.
Yeah. So those two guys slipping down to at least 3 because they know we're not taking a quarterback. So our pick becomes way less valuable if both guys are there at 2.
Yeah, and I think this is a trade that will happen during the draft. I don't think this is a trade that will happen before. I think this happens after because looking at the draft order as of now, obviously a lot can happen. Seattle's got pick 3. They've got 2 first round picks, so they have so maybe the Bears trade with them. You got the Lions.
Maybe
the Lions 2 first round picks. They have the 4th and the 18th. Now, those 2 could be in a bidding war because they both need a QB. Now, this is where the Bears can be smart. Now, I know what you're saying. Seattle might run it back with Geno Smith. I totally understand. But if they don't, they both can be like, we want this guy. Because after that, it's Arizona, who they're not going to take a QB. Maybe they will actually because Kyler Murray is going to be hurt. Then you got Indianapolis. They might.
They're definitely going to take a quarterback. Yeah, so they should.
If I'm the Bears, I'm looking at Seattle and Detroit as 2 teams who have 2 first round picks, a lot of draft picks overall, and seeing what they can bring to the table because the Seattle could go for Will Anderson, and that's a generational talent, so they could pay a lot for that guy. And you got the Lions; they need the guy, and that's CJ Stroud possibly. So
you know who I could also see moving up?
Who?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Why would they do that?
because
For who?
they would trade up for Will Anderson or Javon Carter because they need that perennial lineman or defensive lineman on either side or even in the middle
Hmm.
because they're good. They're the best team in the league, but they have so much capital that they don't need. And if they trade I think they have 2 first-round picks this year, and then a first-round pick next year. You could definitely see the Bears accepting that offer.
Yes, the Eagles have now, as of now, have pick 9 and pick 32.
Yeah,
They have the Saints pick.
yeah. So obviously, I think, do they have next year's pick too to the
They,
Saints?
they might.
So if they do, I would say they give up the 2 Saints picks for this year, next year, and their first-round pick this year.
But
Maybe more,
I think
but
kind of what we're in consensus is that if the price is right, you move the pick. But if it's not,
yeah,
but if you're fine with what you're fine with Anderson, like you're
I
perfectly,
would be.
yeah.
That's if that's worst case scenario, getting Will Anderson. I'm okay
You
with
walk
it.
away being happy. He's 6'4", 245,
Mm-hmm.
generational. So it's either
And
honestly for the Bears, it's going to be 3 first-round picks in the next 2 years or Will Anderson.
yeah.
So
Also, you got to think about this. If we do trade down, let's say we trade down with the Lions, they're gonna have what pick 5 or 6?
yeah,
They're gonna probably take Paris Johnson, the lineman, if it ends up there.
I've never heard of this Harris Johnson.
No, Paris.
Oh, Paris. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's the number 1 rated lineman in offensive lineman in the draft right now.
Actually, not as of now. It's Peter Skorinski out of Northwest.
Oh, Pete Skorinsky. Okay, my bad.
But he's right
So
there. Right there.
either one of those 2 could be there at 5 or 6,
But
and
also, what could be
we
the
could
thing
use them.
is, you trade that second pick, you get 2 first-round picks, you get the Skorinsky or Paris,
Mhm.
and then you get Jordan Addison from USC.
Exactly. Yes.
That's where I think is the most. That's probably those are the 2 most likely scenarios. It's Will Anderson too, or you get a
Lineman and
lineman
a
or
skill
a
player.
receiver. You get a receiver with that 15 pick, but with that
Yeah.
8th, 9th range, 7 maybe, you get probably an O lineman or defenseman.
Yeah. So it just depends if the right team with the right draft picks make the right call and trade with the Bears. But
Yeah.
if we end up with the second pick with Will Anderson, I'm fine with that too.
Well, there is a game that could play pivotal in that draft stock, and it's the game this Saturday. I was going to say Sunday, but this Saturday, Carl, negative
Oh man.
20. It feels like going to be in the Shy City against the Bills.
Oh man. I have a sneaky suspicion that somehow the Bears are going to end up winning this game.
I think they cover, but I don't think
But
But you gotta remember,
-8
the
right
Bills
now.
know what it's like to play in the cold.
Yeah,
It's not
but
like they don't know how to play in the cold at all. They are a team that plays in the blizzard snow, and they are a team that can do it. I can see covering, but I can't see winning. The Bears, look, I think the thing for the Bears is every game you think they can win, and then they don't, which is fine because we don't want the Bears to win. The Bears don't.
yeah,
We don't want them to win, obviously. So I don't think they'll win. I think that obviously we can't stop Josh Allen. He's a generational talent.
Mhm.
Can run the ball very well. And we saw what Jalen Hurts did when he ran the ball. I mean, he had 3 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. You just don't do that. So
Yeah,
I think the Bills will win to keep it really short. I think it will be close, though. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout. I think that, it's going to be 20 to 17, I'll say. So I will
wow,
I will expect the Bears to cover, but not to win.
damn. I think like I think they're gonna win. I don't know why. I think Allen has a bad team. I think somehow the Bears defense does something. I think Justin Fields runs for 100 yards, scores
Just
a couple
100?
touchdowns. Huh?
I think he might. I think this is my bold prediction. He could eclipse 200.
That's what I'm thinking. And he's only like 200 yards off of the all-time record for in 2019, the all-time record for quarterback rushing yards in one season.
3 games, including this week.
Yeah. So he could definitely do it unless they pop him really hard.
So what's your score
I
prediction?
I'm gonna say you said 2017. That's pretty good. I'm gonna go. I'll go 24-21 Bears.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but we talked about one promising team. Let's talk about another promising team off of last night's game, the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
It's been a kind of a rocky season, as we know. But they did beat Atlanta last night on a buzzer beater by Ayo Sumu. So that makes they won two in a row. They won two in a row. They're what?
Well,
They're
yeah,
13 and 18.
they're 2-0 since the news broke out about Zach LaVine.
Oh yeah, Zach LaVine apparently not seeing eye to eye with the Bulls front office,
Yeah,
and there's rumors he's trying to push his way to the Lakers.
I mean it makes sense. He played at UCLA.
Yeah,
That's
he's a Cali kid.
his agent is Rich Paul, obviously LeBron
Yeah,
James' his agent. So
yeah. But
I
he
don't,
just signed a 5-year deal. He's not going anywhere.
it's not a good look, obviously, but maybe
Yeah,
this is what the Bulls needed to like just a kick in the ass. Just have this
maybe.
because that if you know anything about like Levine or like DeRozan, they're not like they're not guys who are like controversial. You know, they're guys that
Mhm.
they don't talk all the time. They just play ball. So
Yeah, they're the low key guys that try to stay
come
with the team.
together and be like,
Hmm.
guys, this news is BS. Like, let's go out and play our basketball. So
Yeah,
I mean, I agreed with you. I don't think Levine's going to be moved. I think DeRozan could. I mean, I said last week that if the Bulls aren't like in eighth place by the All Star break, I'd consider tearing it down. I still stick to that, but I think that maybe this is what the Bulls needed to come together. That they just needed that. Oh shoot! Like our people see our problems and look how stupid this is. Like let's play some
yeah,
basketball.
yeah. So I might agree that this is a turning point for them because the news broke out. They wanna. I'm pretty sure they want to stay in Chicago and win. So
Yeah,
also, there's been rumors of Alex Caruso getting traded to the Warriors
I
ever
did see
since
that. Yeah, I did.
ever since Steve Kerr at the last Warriors Bulls game was like, I'd like you on our team. But if there was to be a trade between them, what would you want from Golden State?
That's tough because like obviously you want Curry or Thompson or Poole or you want all these guys, but
No.
I'm gonna give you a shocker.
Okay.
What is James Wiseman up to these days?
That's what I was thinking. I'm not
What
shocked by that.
what is he up to? Because Vooch can't stay there forever, and James Wiseman
Yeah.
is supposed to be the next best center. So
Hmm.
I would inquire about James Wiseman, or
And they just paid Looney in the offseason.
yeah, I would like to see what James Wiseman up to, or Draymond Green. I think those would be my two
No,
shooters.
Draymond's a warrior for life.
No,
But
Hawks trade.
I'd like I don't think this would happen, but I'd like Kuminga or Mooney or Moody that they got in the
Moses
last
Moody
year's
or
draft.
whatever. No,
Moses Mooney, yeah.
I think they're not using him. I think he's in the G League.
Yeah, I'd like Wiseman as well. I'd like him too. He'd get a fresh start in
Yeah,
Chicago.
absolutely.
He would be coming off the bench if it wasn't in the offer,
Hmm.
but at some point he would take that starting role. And
Yeah,
plus that would give us three centers in Drummond, Vooch, and Wiseman. So obviously I think Vooch would be the odd man out.
yeah,
And then he's still valuable. We could get a first round pick for him
yeah.
that we need because at this point I don't think we're gonna be top four.
No, it doesn't look like that at all. But I mean, they beat two good teams, the Heat and the Hawks. So you take it.
Yeah, that's true. Uh but like you said, they beat the Heat by 10 and then they beat Atlanta by the buzzer beater. Let's talk about their upcoming week because we're not gonna be talking for a week. So they go to New York against the Knicks again, where they beat us last time by 20, 20 something. I don't know.
They have
But
also, I think they've also won like 8 or 9 in a row. I think
yeah, they've won again. Sorry, they've gone on a little win streak there.
they're gelling pretty well. I think
Yeah,
Johnson and Randall are really getting together.
yeah. And did you hear that ovation for Derrick Rose
Oh
in the
yeah,
first Knicks Bulls game?
imagine if he actually came back.
There's rumors saying that Derrick Rose wants to come back,
They
and like
would they would
there's
sell
trade
out.
talks happening.
They would sell out the first game that happens.
Oh man, that I'd want to go to that game.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, so there's always it's always going to be open. It's always going to be open
I
for
do
him to come
think
back.
he'll come back once in his career.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Even if it's just his last season
Yeah, I think
and
he
he
will.
wants to play with the Bulls. But after that, the 23rd, that game is happening on Friday. They don't play until the day after Christmas. They get Christmas off, where Houston Rockets come into town, and then we stay in Chicago, but our friends from the north, Milwaukee Bucks, come into town.
Not our
That's
friends.
a rivalry.
They're
That's a
our
rivalry game right there.
enemies, not friends.
What did I say?
You just said our friends from the north.
Oh, damn it! Our enemies from the north.
There you go. They're not our friends at all.
My apologies. But yeah, some good games should happen. Rockets are an up and coming young team.
Yeah.
That should be a good game. They don't have a lot of wins, but they're a good team, or I think they're a good team or a
They're
developing team.
exciting. They're exciting.
Yeah. The Knicks game should be good. Like we said, they're on a nice little win streak. And then that Milwaukee game, man, they're best in the East.
We beat them
We got
last
to do.
time.
We did beat them last time, so we got to do something. They're only a game in front of Boston for the number one seed in the East.
Yeah.
So it should be good. It should be good, and we got to keep up with the Levine news. Possibly DeMar leaving.
Just play hard, boys.
Yeah. Also, there's rumors of Levine or not Levine. Lonzo Ball not playing the rest of the season, which is awful.
There was an interview. He was doing some charity stuff and said he's doing better, but he's just really frustrated with the whole situation.
Yeah, his knee still hurts, he said. So, hey, we'll take him back when he gets healthy. Like, that's all we can say.
Yeah.
Can't really, say, get on the floor or else. So.
Yeah, no, for real.
But let's talk about a different sport. They're currently in their
We only have one sport left to talk about.
They are in their off season right now. Let's talk about baseball. Jack,
Did
we talk about your signing last time?
No, that I think that happened right after our show.
Yeah, so go ahead.
A lot has happened since our show in baseball.
Yes.
Well, Benintendi goes to the White Sox, 5 years, 75. Maybe a little too much, but for the White Sox, they're in win now mode, and they're going to win the AL Central. It's a fact, and they need an outfielder defensively. You can't put Eloy in left field. It's brutal. But Benintendi, Gold Glover, batted 300, 374 on base percentage. You'll take it. Lefty bat, that's what the Sox need. And the highest contract in White Sox history now goes to Andrew Benintendi. It was Yasmani Grandal, but now it is Andrew Benintendi. So opening day, I'll probably go Benintendi, Roberts, and Oscar Colas, the highly touted prospect. They used to call this guy the Cuban Otani. He'll probably start in right field, which should be exciting. But good sign. I hope they're not done yet. We need a second baseman. I'm really hoping Gene Segura can come to the South Side. I'd like him for 2, maybe 3 years. I would bring him better than our other options at second base because they're pretty bad. So I'd get Gene, but overall, I like the signing by Benintendi. Nice to see Jerry actually spend some money for once in his life. But we'll see. We'll see what else. There's still a lot of good players out there that have to be signed.
Oh, absolutely. So you talk about the Sox. Let's talk about the Cubs. I know we didn't get the top 2 we wanted, but we did get a top 4 or a shortstop in free agency. We got Dansby Swanson, 7 years, $177 million. People are saying it's an overpay, $25 a year.
He's overpaid.
I don't think it is. he is going to be the star of the Chicago Cubs for at least 7 years, and I think he's going to bring this energy to the Cubs that we haven't had since our core has been gone. He slashed 96 RBIs last year. He walked 50 times. He batted 277. Last year he had the most at bats in his career at 640. So I think he's gonna bring the energy, the emotion of being a Cubs fan in his childhood with his grandfather. I think he's gonna embrace Wrigley Field, and he's just here. He's just here to win a championship.
I think that Cubs fans need to thank his wife for playing soccer in
Hey,
Chicago.
that's fine.
He said he came to Chicago to win, but that's the thing the Cubs won't do is win. I mean, it's a good signing for the fans. Obviously, Carl's a Cubs fan. You can see how excited he is. It's Dansby Swanson, won the World Series with the Braves.
Former number 1 overall pick.
But as a team, it just doesn't make that much sense. They didn't need him. They need bigger holes. Like, they have bigger holes. They don't have a third baseman. They don't have a first baseman. Who is
Christian Morales? Morales is going to play third.
I thought he was an outfielder.
No, he's like an infielder, but he's going to play third.
Well, my point
and then we got a prospect coming up.
If you're going to do this, if you're at the Cubs, you better have backup options. I think that's a good deal for Swanson. He got the money. He got overpaid. He's a good player, but he's not a great player. We'll see what his stats do, because you have to remember he was in a very stacked Braves lineup. So those RBIs are a big reason of how good his team was around him. Now he's on a pretty bad team.
He hit 25 homers last year. What the fuck are you talking about?
Home runs. I'm talking about RBIs. Totally different category.
He played every single game last year too.
I'm not saying he can't stay healthy. I'm just saying we'll see how he plays with the team around him that has very less talent than the Braves, because the Braves have guys like Ronald Acuna Jr., Austin Riley. I mean, those two guys are easily some of the best players at their positions in the game of baseball. So I think for Dansby, good job by him getting the money. He gets to go home with his wife. I mean, now they're together, and obviously that was a very nice story about his grandfather. I think that he's going to enjoy Chicago, and the fans will love him. I mean, yeah. It's a big name, but I just think it doesn't really address their problems. And I just was really shocked when he said he came here to win, but at the end of the day, he just came to finish. He just came to finish in second place. The Cardinals are 10 times. The Cardinals have a better roster than the Cubs, and the Cardinals are the Cubs' big brother. So I was a little confused about when he said he wanted to win, but he didn't even go to the best team in Chicago. So
he definitely did.
No, he did not. I'll bet you right now the Sox finished with a better record.
You don't know.
Exactly.
What happened last time?
Like I said, Swanson, good job by him getting the money, his agent. But for the Cubs, I think this was just a move to put fans in the seats and not really address their problems. So overall, you can see Carl's happy about the signing.
Listen. There's upside, because Christian Morel is going to play third, or Patrick Wisdom.
He's not good though.
And then we have two prospects that could come up this year at first base.
This Morale guy is not that good, so I don't know what you're hoping.
He is good. What are you talking about?
Like Frank Schwindel?
No, he wasn't good.
Or Patrick Wisdom?
He is good.
No, he's not.
Wisdom's good. Yeah, he is.
Wisdom is a poor man's Adam Dunn. You can hit 30 home runs.
Get your malarkey out of here.
You can hit 30 home runs, don't get me wrong, but batting 190 doesn't get you anywhere.
Malarkey.
I can see you're happy, Carl, so good for you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. That's all I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But we
had some controversy in baseball.
Oh man. We talked about it last time, right?
No,
Carlos Correa.
We did talk about the Giants.
Carlos Correa to the Giants.
Things change, Carl.
But there's been a development where apparently the Giants didn't like something in his physical, and that voided the contract.
Yeah.
And at 4 a.m. in the morning, I get an alert saying, Carlos Correa, New York Mets. What's up with that, Jack? What do you have to say?
Canceled. They broke the news the day of his supposed introductory press conference.
Yeah.
That sucks, but credit Steve Cohen and the Mets. I mean, they jumped on it right away. Obviously, it's nothing too serious because they jumped on that thing like sharks.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
he'll go to third base for the Mets, and I mean, it's hard to say they don't have the best lineup in baseball. I mean, obviously the Padres have something to say, but I mean, now you have Correa, Lindor, McNeil, Alonso, Brandon Nimmo came back. They did trade James McCann, which was interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is just a loaded team, top to bottom. The rotation is loaded from top to bottom. I think that it's cool to see that the Mets and Yankees are like the two best teams like last year. I really like that because, it's cool to have two teams in one city playing some amazing baseball. But you got to credit the Mets. I mean, they're spending money, and that's what you have to do. I mean,
it's the highest team salary by $150 million.
It's what you got to do if you want to win baseball games. You have to get the guys. I mean, it's. I get it. It's money, and it's
there
expensive.
was
But if
there's an article online saying that it's great for the fans, it's great for the team, but it's terrible for the owners.
Oh, it is.
They're gonna have to cough up a lot more money. It's gonna be crazy. Inflation is gonna hit to the max.
But
so
if you're not
crazy,
if you don't want to be in this business, then don't be in this business. I mean,
exactly.
You gotta pay the players to win, and that's what the Mets are doing. So credit to the Mets jumping on that. I don't know if they'll release what the problem was with his medicals or whatever, but
I don't
obviously
think
it wasn't too serious. It wasn't something major, but something the Giants were like, yeah, we don't want to give you all this money. But look,
he did lose what? He lost what, 30 mil?
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, he's on a better team now. So
yeah, that's true.
You still got a
San Fran can't compete. They can always compete.
Not anymore. I think that without Correa, they're really going to fall behind the Dodgers and Padres.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the Mets. I mean, they got their guy. I mean, they didn't get Judge. They didn't get anyone else they were trying to go for. I mean, they lost DeGrom. Yeah. They brought back Verlander, and now they've got Carlos Correa. You gotta like what you're seeing.
Francisco Lindor. Oh my god!
I am surprised Correa is playing third. I don't know if I've ever seen Correa play.
Yeah, that's a little
I'm not
weird.
Shocked because you would, if you didn't. I don't know who their third baseman would be, but Jeff McNeil is a really good second baseman, so you want to keep him there.
Yeah, and plus, Lindor wouldn't want to play third either.
No, that's Lindor's position. You can't.
It's Lindor's team.
It's hard to move a shortstop. When a shortstop's played there for more than a year or something like that, it's hard to move him because he knows so much about the field, the dimensions, the grass, the dirt. It's too hard to move him.
So, do you think it was do you think something happened where he regretted signing with San Fran?
I don't know.
And then he really wanted to go to the Mets because you just don't decide you're going to play third base like that. You don't.
Well, I'm pretty sure they had discussions with the Mets previously, and that was the problem. Maybe he didn't go to New York because he was going to have to play third base, and with San Francisco, he'd be the shortstop. So maybe at first he had a problem with that, but when the medical stuff happened and they're like, yeah, we can't do this, he was like, well, I got $300 million, whatever they gave him.
315.
Yeah, 315 waiting for me in New York with a potential World Series team. I'm going to go there. So I think that it's not his preferred destination, but it was probably, other than the Giants, the best offer.
Would you give up $35 million for a World Series?
I mean, yeah, if I'm him, because
in that position, I would. Yes,
he's got all the money already. I mean, he's rich already. Yeah. He's won a World Series already. Like, he's got limited money. It's not like he's getting paid money. He's still getting paid $300 million to play baseball. So, and he's going to a better city. New York is more marketable than San Francisco. So, in terms of commercials, ads, just sponsorships, he's going to make more money in New York than he is San Francisco. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. So. It's crazy. It's crazy. We'll see if there's any more big
some
moves
good players left, though.
There are.
Gene Segura, Trey Mancini is still available.
There's rumors the Cubs are going to sign Mancini,
or the Dodgers,
of course.
I think Dodgers are a little scared of the Padres right now. I think
a little bit.
I think that they haven't done much, and the Padres obviously they've gotten they're like a juggernaut. So I think the Dodgers might be a little scared.
Oh yeah, a little bit, but. That's going to wrap up things for us this week. I know it was a little shorter episode, but we both got things going on.
Holidays, so stay warm.
Yeah.
really cool.
And we'll talk to you guys after Christmas next week.
We will. Have a safe holiday. Be warm. Don't go outside. Please don't. It's too cold for you to go outside.
Especially if you're in Chicago.
If you're in the Chicago Midwest area, don't go outside. It's really cold.
Yeah. So take it easy, do some good out there, and we'll talk to you later. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to all, and happy holidays to everyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas.